Man talk. What up, Court? Yeah. What's going on, good peoples? Man, it's your boy T-Tail, man. I'm here about to go live with my brother Ronald. Hope y'all been good. I had a week off. Had to go visit some family. So, matter of fact, my boy Ron is right here on time. Let me go check him out. You see. Hey Ron, it says you're unable to join. Let me just double check. I'm about to hit you. Lynn, what's up? Danny, what's up? Yeah, Ron, I'm just gonna wait for you, bro, because the first time it says you were unable to join. Let's see. Oh man, so I took a week off from doing these lives, man. So I had to go visit some family down in the A. So so are we back at it? At court. Yeah, I did request them. Didn't work. All right. Yeah, all right, there it is. All right, says waiting for him.
There we go. Now we in business, baby.
Now we in business.
What up?
What's going on, good sir?
Blessed and highly favored, man. That's all. How about you?
As always. As always, man, I'm doing the same, man. I'm just here, man. Just got back from seeing some family in the A, man. So just been just kind of chilling, bro.
Feel it. I'm up here in Albany visiting my family.
Uh, just same age, just different place. I feel that, bro.
Yep.
So, so for the people who really don't know, you,
hmm
um, we did this one time, and it was incredible. It was about I don't know about a month and a half ago. I don't even know. Time has been passing.
Something like that. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And we got an amazing response, that prompted me to just, say, I gotta just get out here and give people an opportunity to share, to educate, you know, um, and to just strategize, you know what I'm saying, and just let off. And we
Yeah,
unpacked a lot of stuff last time, bro.
we definitely
Um,
did.
it was crazy, right? So I said, you know what? Oh, we gotta do it officially, one time, you know what I'm saying? And I want to get you back on here to have some conversation, bro. So
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
people, man, you are an actor, you are a writer, you are a very deep thinker. And I could say, man, I am proud to have known you and to have met you, bro, because our journey started in what, 20,
Maybe 2015,
16,
2016, something like
something
that.
like that. I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
2016
Okay.
that I met you, man. And I don't think that was by accident. I don't think that was by chance because we formed an amazing brotherhood, man, that I wouldn't take back for anything. You're
Absolutely.
one of the most enlightened brothers that I do know. I learned from you. And so I'm definitely proud of you and what you've been doing. So if you want to actually just take the time to tell people just what you're up to, the projects that you're working on, man, and where you're featured at.
Well, I mean, definitely appreciate that great introduction you just gave me. Shit, I
Yeah.
don't know if I could do better than that. But like you said, I'm an actor, actor, writer,
hmm
producer. Um, I just had my latest film, Angry People, just came out. They
I
can
saw
find the
it.
link to
I
that in
saw
my
it.
they can find the link to that in my bio. Um,
Hilarious.
I just got to put it out there. But prepare to be pissed off. All right, it presses a lot of buttons.
It
But yeah,
does, yo, but it's funny though, bro. Like it's mad funny.
yeah, yeah. Like they definitely put the writer and director. Shout out to Christopher Johnson from Free Your Mind Films. That one, he would, he put a lot of work into that one. That one was a bit of like Tarantino-esque, but with a lot of splashes of Samuel L. Jackson with with the language and everything like that. So but yeah, Angry People just came out. This fall I'm directing, producing, and starring in a play down in Atlanta. So yeah, those are the two biggest things right now.
I can't, you're gonna be on, you're gonna be in that Hollywood Walk of Fame too, brother. I'm looking forward to taking that trip out to Cali and seeing your name
Hey,
right there, man.
from your mouth to God's ears, I receive it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Maybe you could even get one of them joints that Tyler Perry got. Just one of them studios named after you too, bro. So hey, I can
You
see that
want to know
happening too,
something?
brother.
That's been a dream of mine for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised in New York City, in the Bronx, the Soundview area of the Bronx. They've actually been trying to build sound stages and studios there, so that this way, New York wants to try to compete with Hollywood, and now try to compete with Hollywood and Georgia in regards to Tyler Perry studio. So they've been trying to do it for a while, and it's been a dream of mine to sit here and invest in some of that property. So
definitely, bro. I can definitely see that happening for you. But Tyler Perry, man, salute to him. He definitely kicked it off the right way, for sure.
Yeah. He definitely set the foundation down for us. He laid the bricks for us to be able to follow. So super shout out to him, man.
Cool. Yeah. So last time we spoke, man, we unpacked a lot. We talked about, I think everything, man, from the protest to how we're feeling, man. So let's start with just how are you feeling right now, brother? So how you feel?
I'm in a great place right now. I can say, the quarantine definitely started to take a toll on me, and the ironic part about it is that we had a great talking about mental health in the Black community. And, like I was, vocal about my battles with depression and anxiety. And it just so happens that literally not too long after we had that first talk, I started to slip into a state of depression because of the way that, being quarantined, like my life, and my life is all over the place. I'm always on the move. I'm always working on something. I'm always doing something. And
for sure,
to be quarantined for 91 days and not being able to do anything. And then also not being quarantined at my own home. I had to be quarantined with parents so that this way, I was safer. And I was quarantined for 91 days. And by the time I hit day 76 is when I started to slip into that depression. And by the time I did hit day 91, I was having, Zoom meetings with my therapist just to try to, just try to get myself back into a great space. So, I'm about 3 weeks out since I fell into that place, and I'm in a great place now. Great space.
Great. And let's start right there. So I am a big component of men on their self-help journey, on their self-help awareness. Men who journal, men who go to therapy, because I think there's, especially in our community, there's a stigma on self-help for men. There's it's feminine, right? Or we just don't do that. Like we're too masculine to get help, right? And so number one, I just want to salute you, sir, because you've always, told me that, that you journal, and you're out here getting the help that you need to help you push through, because so many brothers do not. And when you don't, that affects just how they live in everyday life. You know what I'm saying? That helps, that really hurts to our community, right? That hurts the people that we love the most, our women, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Our children, right? It could be people at the workplace, school. It just affects us in such a vile way that I am super happy, what I'm saying, that you are one of the leaders, what I'm saying, who's saying, I need therapy. I need to get help. What I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And me and you have those type of conversations too about mental health. And there's no shame in that either. A lot of times, like our friends, I know you probably have friends, I have friends that probably are ashamed of talking about that with your brother. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't talk to him about that. I'm going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a stigma on it, right? And there's stigma on it in the Black community too. But what I do know is our sisters will go get help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whenever I do like a speaking engagement on self-help and things like that, and you know who's there? 95% women.
Yeah.
5%
You
are
you
men,
actually
and that's probably because it's either their girl, their wife, or their mama told them to come.
you actually posted something a few weeks ago. It was a
Hmm.
meme that you posted to your Instagram story where you said
Yeah.
that black men will I'm good themselves into a state of depression.
Yep.
And that was so real because, like you were just saying, like when it does come down to the black community, especially us as black men, we
Hmm.
have this stigma on us where we're automatically just supposed to have certain things together. We're
Yep.
automatically just supposed to have this sense of manlyhood that doesn't necessarily, that we don't necessarily go out to seek help. We won't have certain conversations with our brothers, with our friends, and things of that nature. And the
Hmm.
thing that I had to realize when it comes down to seeking help, to going to therapy, to journaling, right?
Hmm.
If you think about all the people that care about you, if you think about the people who love you,
Hmm.
imagine yourself really not being here anymore and what that'll do to
Right.
them. You know what I
Right.
mean? Think about the way that your absence will affect somebody else. And this is why, I
Hmm.
always preach about it to, like you said, you and I have conversations about it. I talk to my other brothers about it as well. I'd much rather
Hmm.
you call me 3 o'clock in the morning, vent, cry, do whatever you need to do. I'd much rather you call me with a conversation like that than me getting a phone call saying that you're not here with us anymore because, you know,
Mm.
anything like, maybe you had thoughts of suicide, suicidal
Hmm.
ideations, and maybe you just like slipped yourself into a state of depression and things.
Right.
People don't understand when you do slip into those stages, there's so many different things that you start to battle with: drug abuse,
Hmm.
alcoholism. These are all things that,
Hmm. Porn.
are
Yeah.
side effects of,
Hmm.
of depression and things of that nature. So, I'd much rather, and I had to realize that for myself, someone who has battled with suicidal ideations and
Hmm.
everything in the past. I had to realize
Hmm.
to myself, if I wasn't here, how would that affect my mother? How would that affect my father? How would that affect
Right.
my siblings? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Hmm.
a huge part, a huge part of me seeking help really didn't have to do with me, but it was about saving everyone else.
Hmm. Dope, man. And I think that it's also important that we also let our brothers know, you know what I'm saying, that they can come to us for that, right? Because it's not
Yeah,
just about, the sports, the football, the basketball talk, the man talk about the girls, the
yeah,
this, the that, the parties and the drinking. Like that's all good and well too. But listen, bro, like when you need something, like when you need somebody to just talk to, if you can't talk to nobody else, then you can come to me. And I
absolutely.
think that that's very important that we have to let our young brothers know that too. Because, me and you, like we're what, you're 30 years old, whatever, 'cause I'm 35, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like we're in our 30s, right? So that's
Yeah,
cool that we got it. But it's very important that we let our young people know, especially our young brothers, our young boys growing up, that there's nothing wrong with getting help. You know what I'm saying? It's not feminine. Like we gotta just take that stigma and throw it in the
yeah,
trash. It's
absolutely.
hot garbage.
We have to lead that charge, and we have to lead that
Right.
charge through action. You know what I mean? I used to
Facts.
talk to my students about therapy and everything all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that they have to see action on my part. They have to see me actively
100.
doing something. They have to
Mm-hmm.
hear me actively, sharing a testimony with them about me seeking help in order to give them that quote unquote
Right.
permission to feel safe enough to do it as well.
Right. And that's another component of being a man, right? Is,
Yeah,
oh, I can't let people know what I go through because if I let people know what I go through, then that doesn't make me a man anymore. That's my pride and ego talking. You know what I'm
because
saying? And that's the
you already
thing.
know for us, we're not allowed to share that vulnerability a lot of the times.
Right.
You know,
Right. Because even fundamentally, the way that parents a lot of times teach. Now, this is not every case, but the way parents teach their girls and the way that they teach their boys are two different ways. And I
yeah,
understand to a point, but we've got to get to a point where we have to say, hey, listen, it's not just okay for the daughter to come home and express. It's not okay for the daughter, just the daughter to just write in her diary. It's that's
yeah,
that's all good and well for the daughter. You giving her the blueprint for life. You giving her the blueprint to be ahead in life, emotionally, spiritually, and everywhere else. We have to give
yeah,
those same tools to our young boys too, and say, yes,
yeah,
there is a time to be tough. Yes, there is a time for that. But listen, we have to teach our guys about mental health. There is a time and place for you to say, hey, listen, I need to let go. I need to vent. I need to speak to somebody. I need to be able to express myself and to not say man up,
yeah.
please. I don't want to hear it. See that right there? You're breeding toxicity into your boy at the age of 4 or 5, and then you're going to expect him to know at 25 how to communicate, how to express, how to do all this magically. But by then he has 20 years of the built up tension, anger, and you don't even know why. Well, why is he so angry? Because he was never allowed to express. But your daughter now, she's out there expressing, she's living her best life, she's getting educated, she's doing self-help, she's reading, she's writing, she's doing all these things. And it's like, listen, we've got to get to a point to where we're too afraid, quote unquote, to feminize our sons. There's a big difference between feminizing your son and saying, hey, it is okay, completely okay to cry, and it's completely okay to journal. You know what I'm saying? So, so salute to you, man, because I think you already know where I stand with this. And I've been trying to do my part in having these types of conversations with our young people and men our age too. I think that's the thing too, because there's a lot of broken men our age too.
Yeah, I mean, and absolutely. I mean, me, I'm definitely still within the learning process of a lot of this, like last time we were on here, I was really vocal about, I have a baby brother who is 5. And I find myself falling into certain modes with him as well, where it's like, I'm telling him, like, listen, man, come on, toughen up. I'm telling him to man up at sometimes as well. And I find myself slipping into doing that with him because at the end of the day, I know how cruel this world will be. I know how cruel this world can be, especially for a black man. So I'm like, man, if I can at least give you the tools that I've learned to at least get me to, if I can give you the tools that I learned to even get me to the point that I'm at now, you'll be all right. You'll be taken care of, but he is he's very expressive. He has no problem crying in certain, and for me, I'm just always, it frightens the hell out of me sometimes because I'm like, man, you're going to be going to school. You're going to be one of the only black kids in school. And if you are this expressive, who's going to take advantage of you? Who's going to take advantage of you expressing your feelings, expressing when you're upset, expressing when you're sad and things of that nature? You know what I mean? Who's going to take advantage of that? And I find myself telling him to man up sometimes, not in the sense of not trying to instill that stigma on him, but more so just trying to protect him from the world,
Right. And it's also having to teach him who he can express to, who he can feel safe with too. I think that's the thing, because it's not saying that you have to run to everybody and tell them your problem, tell them this, but
my mom just jumped in the comments and talking about my baby brother. She said, and at the same time, he is sweet. Yes, he's a very sweet kid, Mom.
Oh, yes, 100%. Hi, Mom. Starner said, feelings are healthy and they are valid. We have to offer tools in how to express all of the emotions. And I'm looking to speaking to you on Thursday at 7 o'clock right here on IG Live. But another comment said, somebody else said, normalize caring for our black boys and nurturing their mental stability. I mean, that's amen. You know what I'm saying? So, perfect. Oh, one more person said, at the same time, I can't, man, the comments are coming in. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh no, that was your mom. My fault. Yeah. So transitioning into kind of faith, right? Because you're a man of faith, right? And I am too. So
you see,
how has, let me see that.
Bring God with me everywhere. God speaks. They better know.
So how has faith impacted your life? I always talk about faith versus fear, and just to chime in on one more thing. So when it comes to our boys, the one thing that I really just want to stress is that we are living in a different generation, right? Than me and you grew up. We grew up on the Toys R Us generation, right? They're in an Amazon generation, right? And the one thing I always say is that we have to keep up with how we teach, our young boys, because guess what? We can teach them the Toys R Us generation, but where Toys R Us right now? It's out of business. Yeah. Because Amazon put them out of business, right? At the end of the day, like, we have to be able to teach them differently. You know what I'm saying? We can instill certain things, but a lot of the things that were taught from back in the day don't apply to today. So we got to just kind of
Yeah.
just be a little bit more diverse in how we teach our young boys, man. But transitioning, man, into you know what I'm saying, faith versus fear, bro. You know, you're a believer, you know, as am I. I know I've called you many times, like, yo, man, I'm frustrated out here, man. You know, and sometimes you struggle with, you know, faith versus fear. And I appreciate being able to call brothers like you, like when I'm frustrated, just with just life and just with things that's going on in my life, right?
Yeah.
And you know, being taught certain things as you were growing up about faith, and having faith, and then sometimes you get disappointed in life. You go through depression, like you said, man. But the one thing I do know about you is you're a big man of faith. Um,
Hmm.
so how has faith played a big role in your life, man?
I'd say my faith has played the biggest role. Faith has literally
Hmm.
saved my life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
back to, so I got baptized July 5th, 2015. And I think
Right.
about my life before then, you know,
Hmm.
literally, I'll say a few months before I got baptized, almost had a, you know, I almost took myself out.
Hmm.
I went on a, you know, on a real binge, and literally I remember going to sleep. Um,
Hmm.
and you know, I guess this is just a quick testimony, not to try to take up too much time, but you know,
Go
I
ahead,
remember
brother.
being asleep. I remember feeling my body just like weakening, and I remember, like, you
Hmm.
know, I remember opening my eyes and I saw the Grim Reaper sitting at the foot of my bed. And you know,
Hmm.
he was sitting there casually waiting on me, looking, pretty much looking at his watch, like, all right, come on, man, I got stuff to do. Hurry up, hurry up. And I
Mm.
remember throwing the covers back over my head and just praying and just asking God, like, listen, if you deliver me from this moment right here, I'll never do this again. I'll never be this foolish and this selfish and this reckless
Hmm.
with my life again. And
Hmm.
literally, I woke up to myself getting my stomach pumped in the hospital
Mm.
because you know, a roommate of mine came in my room to ask me if I was hungry and saw me choking on my own vomit.
Mm. Wow.
My faith in God has literally saved my life. It has saved my life. I've watched it. You know, I've watched God use me in order to impact others. You know what I mean? Like, even the
Right.
fact that I can
Hmm.
share this testimony with, you know, with you and your viewers now. The fact that I can share that
Hmm.
testimony is literally just, that's a testament to God's grace and favor and mercy on my life right there.
Mm. Powerful, bro. Powerful. Um, and I'll say now the opposite for me, fear. You know, man, fear
Yeah.
is a
Sharing that
hell of a
testimony
thing.
got my hands shaking and everything right now. Whew,
Whew,
whew.
man, I mean, but that was but that's powerful, and I think that if more people, you know what I'm saying, can share more stories like these, like this, it can save lives, save souls. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
And
you are, you know what I'm saying, and you're a testimony. You're a walking, living testimony. You know what I'm saying? And faith played a big role for me in my life too. And it's really about it's about being happy that you have a praying mother, you know. And for me, when I was younger, I was sick. I was very, very sick. And you know, I had to go to the hospital. I had severe asthma, and you know, I had to have surgery on my lungs. And
yeah.
so pretty much, I had the surgery, and I came back for a checkup, and the doctors looked, you know, and they were like, "Wow, like you're here." And my mom was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And doctor was like, "Well, truthfully, we never thought we'd see him again um, after the surgery. We thought we'd send him home, and he died." You know, but my
Mm,
mother was praying for me from before I was, you know, from since I was in the womb. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's just who she was. Like her faith is something I have I've never seen before, you know, from somebody. Like she's a praying woman. Through and through, she's a praying woman, man. Like you know,
Yeah.
so when they say I wasn't supposed to be here, they for real, like Terrence was supposed to be here, you know, and you know, shifting that to how fear plays a role in your life as you get older, you know, because they always say to have childlike faith. You know what I'm saying? And that's true because when I was
Yeah.
like 10 years old, like nothing could stop me. I had faith for everything, you know, and I thought I could
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as I
Yeah.
got older and the trials got harder, you know what I'm saying? Like fear, you know, crept in a lot, man. And I know I wouldn't be able to do this here with you if I didn't overcome that and get a little bit more faith. You know what I'm saying? Because, I think I told you, I had a speech impediment since I was about 4 years old.
Yeah.
And, I'm 36 now. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm turning 36. Let me not date myself yet. Um, I had a speech impediment, and it was atrocious, man. In kindergarten, all the way through high school, college, and man, it frightened me. It gave me anxiety from elementary, junior, high, college, stuttering all the time, stuff like that. Kids are crazy, kids are cruel, and truthfully, I was just like, yo, like when I hit 26, 27, it was bothering me so much because I felt like it was blocking a lot of my blessings, and I
Yeah.
said to myself, like, what do I like what does Terrence want to do with his life? At some point in time, like I have to look and say, all right, so Terrence, if you had to choose a career, what do you want to do? And I said, and thought about it, and I love helping people. I love talking to people, but at the same time, I had a really big anxiety from speaking
Yeah.
in front of people. So
Yeah.
um, so what I did, man, I said, yo, if that's really what I want to do, I have to find some way to overcome this, man. And I prayed on it. And I changed how I talk, my pitch, how fast, you know what I'm saying? And it took my stutter from like a 10 down to about a 3.
Yeah.
And I totally changed the way I spoke and how I speak, you know what I'm saying? And you'll still hear it, and which is perfectly okay with me. But
Yeah.
once I conquered that and I started praying on it and I really started to just move different things and learn, and it was a grind to really try to retrain yourself on how to talk. Because by that time I've been talking the same way since I was 26. And if anybody out there who has a speech impediment, then you know how that really affects your life in a
So hold
really
on.
negative way.
I don't mean to interrupt you, brother, but
Hmm.
God just put something on me to express to you because, and man, He has so many great plans for you. Um, you dive into your word, you start, you really study your Bible, you understand one of the people
Hmm.
that, one of the most influential people in history, Moses,
Hmm.
part of the Red
Yeah.
Sea.
Yeah.
When God appeared to him in that burning bush, remember Moses was insecure, and he was insecure
Hmm.
about his speech impediment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of the most
Hmm.
influential men to ever walk the face of this earth
Right.
had a speech impediment, and look what he went on to do.
Hmm.
Brother, God
Yep.
has big plans for you, speech impediment and all.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, man. From your lips to God's ears, bro. But the work had to be done. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So like for me to recognize that I needed change and I had to reprogram everything about how I spoke, man. So fast forward, you know, to after that's really done and I'm praying on it, I'm getting calls from different universities, nonprofits to come speak. And I'm like,
yeah,
and then people are saying to me, yo, you speak really well. And I said to myself, I never thought I ever in my existence, I never thought I would ever hear those words. You might
mm,
say Terrence is a good, he's good at this or he's good at that. He helps people, but I would never thought in a million years that somebody would ever tell me, Terrence, you speak well. And
mm,
I was just, and that changed my life, man. Um, and it's just even the fear of just creating videos. You know what I'm saying? The fear of like when I first started doing this, like the first video I ever did, you know what I did? I put out a motivational video on Instagram. This is a couple years ago, a few years ago, and I put on shades because I was ashamed. I was fearful. I was ashamed
yeah,
um, of how that would come off to people. You know what I'm saying? And I put on shades, and I was like, all right, man, this is gonna hide me. I wanted to hide
yeah,
myself, and so I put it out. I took all the courage to put this out because I really didn't want to do it. I put it out, and then what happened? Somebody commented, I don't even know who it was. Somebody commented and said, yo, look at this guy, man. He's trying to be P. Diddy. He's trying
mm,
to say something. He got his big glasses on. He's trying to, and I'm like, you see, like that right there. I say, yo, see, he don't even know. It ain't even about me trying to be cool. It's
yeah,
about me
yeah.
trying to hide, you know what I'm saying? My insecurities. You know what I'm
But you want
saying?
you want to know something? For me, I think the biggest challenge that I had with faith growing up was the fact
Mm-hmm.
that the church that I was a part of and everything like that, they made me feel like I needed to be perfect in order to be used by God, right? It wasn't until I got older, until I started studying the word for myself, where like for instance, when it comes to insecurities, when it comes to things that, you know, make us anxious, like I said, Moses, you know, speech impediment. Noah was a drunk. You know what I mean? And God used every last one of them. Jesus, one of Jesus's best friends was a prostitute. You know what I mean? Like, I had to learn for myself, like, you know, I had to learn about Christ for myself to fully understand that despite whatever I was struggling with, being challenged with, whatever, I could still be used by him. I had to learn for myself, like, I don't need to be perfect. And no, God knows I'm not perfect. And despite what anybody tries to make it seem like, if Jesus was on earth right now, he'd be in a trap. Jesus goes to the trap to save souls. You know what I mean? So I had to learn those. And I had to learn about Christ for myself in order to boost my faith, in order to boost, you know, the things that make me, you know, like given, like I still do battle with depression. I still do battle with anxiety. And the times where I find myself battling the most with those two things are the times where I feel furthest from Christ. Those are the times where I know I'm not praying enough. I know I'm not reading my word enough. I know I'm not studying enough. You know what I mean? Those are the times I find myself struggling with those things the most, when I'm not close, when I'm not as close to Christ as I should be.
And that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I had a little bit of a different journey with it. Was because I grew up with it. I grew up in the church. I grew up very faith-based. I was home Bible school since I was like 8 years old. So I go take tests. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would go to school and take tests on Scantron, and then come home on the weekends. And my mom was making me take Scantron tests on home Bible school. You know, I was just like, you know, so like I was very, and I worked in the church, and I was doing stuff with Sunday school. And so I grew up, you know, really heavily in that. And I think by the time I got to about 28, about 27, 28 years old, even 30, I think I kind of got tired, you know, and I got tired. I got very, very, very weary of it and resentful of it, just because of, you know, seeing my parents suffer a lot. You know, I see my parents suffer tremendously, and they were the biggest faith goers that I knew. You know what I'm saying? And they worked in the church. You know, my mom would study the Bible all the time, pray all the time. And I saw them get attacked so much. And it angered me, and it frustrated me to my core. I mean, to where it affected my mental health. You know what I'm saying? To where I just said, you know what? I don't even want it. I just said, you know what? I don't want to end up like them. You know what I'm saying? And then once my dad passed, I think that one, you know, that took me to a level of, you know what? I don't got time for this. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't for me. Like I grew up in it. You know what I'm saying? And I was engulfed in it, and I believed, and I watched the people who really instilled that in me suffer so much. And that plagued me. Like, when I tell you, like, to like, for my mental health, bro, like, that's what really got me. And that's what slipped me into my bouts of depression and my anxiety and my emotional health, to be honest. And, you know, I had to get pulled back in, you know, by, you know, good people, you know, like yourself, good people like my friend Isha, who would always pray for me. And even talking to my mom, you know, she would always, you know, still, even in her anguish, like, she would still be staunched in her prayer, you know, and how she stood strong, you know, and so, you know, that helped me kind of get back. That helped me, get myself back to a place where I could pray again, because there was a time don't ask me to pray. I don't want to pray. Don't even talk to me about that P word. I didn't want to do it. And and honestly, truthfully, it hit a point for me that I was afraid to do it. I was like, yo, look at where it got my mom. Look at where it got my dad. I don't want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, but that was my mental health. Like, that was my more so my mental health speaking, man. But, you know, it's got me back here, man, to where I've been like, you know what? Look at where I'm at right now. I'm here with you talking on this live. You know what I'm saying? And I've been making a difference these last few years in people's lives, living how I want to live, and making an impact how I want to make an impact. It's only by the grace of God, man. And so, you know, it's just a lot of that. You know, it took me a while to overcome that, and I still struggle with that sometimes. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not in the same place where I was I'll probably say 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, that's big. I mean, and I can definitely relate to what you're saying because you know, I grew up in the church and everything as well. And I want to say
Yeah.
it was, I remember it was about being, I was like either 15 or 16. And I started to have resentment toward God as well for my own, for my own reasons. I remember telling my mother, I don't want to go to church anymore. I don't want to do this. I
Hmm.
don't want to do that. And, she supported, she said, listen, I don't want you to be the reason. I don't want to be the reason to why you pull further away from Christ. Find him for
Right.
yourself. When you're ready, he's there. And I stopped going to
Hmm.
church at like 15, 16, and like I said, didn't find Christ again for myself
Hmm.
until 2015. And
Mm.
even that day I was in church and walked up to the altar to want to get baptized, bro.
Hmm.
I was still high from the night before. I was still drunk from the night before. I think I'd only slept for like 2 hours. My mother, she was like, she opened her guest room door. It's like, oh my goodness, you smell like you need to go to church. I was still, I was
Wow.
still, I was still under so many influences walking
Hmm.
into church when I raised my hand and said, yes, I want to get baptized. Still high,
Wow.
still drunk, and God still used me, even in that state.
Mm. Wow. Um, and that's the thing. I think we all go through things where we have a fight, especially if you were just brought up in the faith. I think we go through a huge battle. Um, and some of us stray, some of us come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it's always good to have people like people like you, people like a couple other friends I have, who can bring you back even when you can't pray. You know what I'm saying? It's when they can pray for you even when you can't pray for yourself. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because everybody at some point hits that point.
Yeah.
It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but you're gonna go through things in life that's a little bit, or just quite frankly, you just can't bear by
Yeah.
yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So it's always good.
that's the importance of fellowship and brotherhood as well. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
That's why God provides you with so many different people that you can turn to, because he knows for a fact that we're not going to be able to do everything on our own. He knows for a fact that
Hmm.
we're not going to be able to sit here and lift ourselves up. Like you said, there are times where I still feel like I can't pray, and I may just have to get on
Hmm.
the phone with one of my bros like, listen, man, can you pray for me?
Hmm.
I don't have the strength to do it right now. I don't have the will
Hmm.
to do it right now. But that's why
Hmm.
God provides us with, the sort of, even the sort of relationship that you and I have. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
why he provides
Hmm.
his people, in your life, so that this way, even if you're not strong enough, you can do it. I mean, for us, we were fortunate enough to be brought up in the church. And I
Yeah,
know for a fact we come from praying black women, so we can't lose. You feel me?
man. Yo, that is a word in itself, man. Because it's like I said, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for my praying mother. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's so powerful, man. That you said that, because it's true. It's very important to have powerful praying people around you, man. And that's kind of where I was trying to say, as far as like breaking down these generational curses, man. With our men, because it's so powerful. Imagine if men could have these types of conversations all the time with each other. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like across the globe, men are having these
Uh-huh.
types of conversations, open and honest and raw conversations with each other.
Yeah.
How how crazy would that be, that our homes, I think, would improve? You know what I'm saying? Like our homes would just be whole, would be a lot more
Yeah.
whole than they are right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, Even just in politics, in the boardrooms, and in anything, I think that once we can have these types of open conversations, I believe that even like when it comes to the streets, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I believe that we'll have less violence out there, man, less crime. You know what I mean? I think, man, like me and you and people like us, I think that we have to be the voices, you know what I'm saying, for our young boys. Like we have to go out there in the trenches and talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if not us, then who? And just another pat on the back for you, man. Salute to you, man. Like you've always done this, man. You know what I'm saying? You come, like, you work in the nonprofit world, like you've been in it. Um, and you reach out a lot in your community, man. So I just want to take the time, man, to definitely just salute you, bro, because it's men like you, that's gonna be a change. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the change in this world. You know what I'm saying? And put words to actions, man. So I definitely just want to salute you to that, man, for sure.
Amen. I definitely appreciate that. I mean, just piggybacking off of what you said in regards to us leading the charge in order to get, to break these generational curses, to have more young Black men speak up about mental health, speak up about anything that they may be going through. I think it's on us as well to make sure that we're educated on just how deep some of these curses go. You know what I mean? Like I remember, I remember doing research, and there was a study where it's like, a white woman will sit here and talk about, how smart her kid is. And then she'll compliment the Black mom's child as well, talk about how smart the child is. And the Black mother's responses was similar to like, oh, well, he's still struggling with this. She won't give him that. She won't give that young Black man the praise. And a huge part of that curse, that generational curse, is the fact that we weren't allowed to uplift each other, because if I were to talk about how smart you are, that could mean you being killed. That could mean someone taking you away from me. You know what I mean? So it's on us to really educate ourselves just on how deep these things go. It's on us to make sure that we start healing ourselves first, because broken people can't fix broken people. You know what I mean? So
100%.
we have to educate ourselves. We have to, do the homework, do the studying, heal ourselves first, and then step into our communities and do it.
Absolutely. And, you can't see it right now, but on the back of my shirt, it says communication, vulnerability, and expression is power. And for me, that's the three pillars. Like for me, it's communication, expression, and vulnerability. And some people think that vulnerability is this bad word. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, vulnerable. Oh, he's vulnerable. Oh, he's acting like a girl. And again, it always goes back to that. But what people have to understand is vulnerability is power. Like vulnerability is power, because if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you'll do one thing, and it begins with you, and you'll forgive yourself first. Like for everything for anything that you feel that guilt of, shame of, things like that on yourself, you forgive yourself first. And a lot of times you won't even have to worry about somebody else forgiving you. You know what I'm saying? Like, or waiting for some type of validation.
The crazy thing about it, a lot of us don't even feel like we're worthy of forgiveness a lot of times.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Nothing.
We don't feel like we're worthy of having that level of being able to forgive ourselves, or forgiveness from others, or, even allowing ourselves to have those moments of vulnerability, just complete transparency. When I shared my testimony earlier about, the suicide attempt that I had, bro, the tears were in the back of my eyes trying to push themselves out. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to cry on this live. I'm not crying on this live, voice cracking and everything. But I still wouldn't allow but the thing is, this is how deep these things go, because even though we're having this conversation, I still couldn't allow myself to have that moment of vulnerability in front of my brother and in front of, the people that are only alive. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I think that the sooner that we give ourselves, especially as men, the permission to communicate, the permission to express, the permission to be vulnerable, then that's when we can start to heal our community, because we need us. People might say we need men. You know what I'm saying? Like we need us, and we need us to be whole. You know what I'm saying? So that we can be good to our wives, be good to our siblings, be good to our community. You know what I'm saying? Because our value normally, as what society will say, our value is how much money we could bring and how many women that we could sleep with. That's what it is. Money gets power, and power gets the women, right? That's what they always say. You know what I'm saying? So our value system is catered to just that. Now, if we can't bring home the money, so let's just say you in a relationship, right? And you can't bring home as much money as your wife, because, women making a lot of money now, you know what I'm saying? Which is an amazing thing. But let's just say you a couple grand short, or whatever the case is, that makes you feel inferior. Why? Because you have nothing else to bring to the table but that. So the thing is,
and that's what we've been taught from the beginning.
Exactly.
If you're a man,
exactly
if you can't take care of, your value goes down, your stock goes down.
But here's the thing: providing isn't one dimensional. That's the difference.
Absolutely right.
Providing isn't one dimensional, but we're taught as men that providing is just financial. Yeah. And even if you're the breadwinner, which is great, you can still be more than one dimensional, because some guys come home, put the money on the table, and that's it. But your wife needs more. Your kids need more.
Yeah.
But all you think about, listen, I'm paying for everything. I'm the breadwinner, man. Hey, like, boom, like we good. And that's
Yeah.
it. So you can put them on the table and you can get up and walk away and say, you know what? I want something else, or I want something else. You know what? She getting this money. Like, I'm good. I'm taking care of the kid. Like, I'm good. But no, your presence matters. Your presence
Yeah.
matters. What you do in that house matters, not just how much you bring into the table. And a lot of times we could be in a relationship and make less than our significant other and then feel inferior. And then
Yeah.
and then you take out that anger on her because you feel
And
inferior because you can't bring anything else to the table.
and that's because, I mean, but a huge part of that also has to do with us as black men, us as men, period, checking our ego and our pride at the door. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You'll have men who
Mm-hmm.
won't want a woman to make as much money as them because, like, they're also under those same teachings that we grew up on. It decreases your
Yep.
value. I know for myself. I get married. I'm looking forward to my wife making more than me. I need my woman to sit here, girl. You go ahead and bring home the bacon. You know what? I'm gonna wash the dishes.
You stupid.
You better go, girl.
And that's the thing. Like, women need our support too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
I think that's
absolutely.
that's the biggest thing is that even if the other breadwinners, at the end of the day, we have to learn to be multifaceted. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They may need your support. They may need your
Absolutely,
presence. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? But if we're just one dimensional and if we don't have that one thing, we tend to sabotage the whole relationship.
Oh,
Like we tend
brother,
to sabotage the whole
you preaching to
relationship because
you preaching to the choir right now because you know it because you and I have had these conversations and
oh yeah, okay.
I'm definitely one of those type. I'm definitely the person. I'll mess up a good thing if you let me.
Mm-hmm.
Self-sabotaging.
Self sabotage is a real thing, and and it comes from our insecurities. You know what I'm saying? It comes from what we believe comes from our value. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But maybe your wife doesn't need you to finance her. Maybe she needs
Hmm.
something else.
Yep.
But you're telling her what she needs, but she's telling you, no, I need X, Y, Z. I don't need this right now. I need X, Y, and Z. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, but you need the money. And she's like, I got it. I need the rest. Your kids need this. And you're like, no, but the money. And that's the thing. It's like we have to get to a point where it's like we need more in our tool belt.
Yeah.
We need more in our arsenal
But
than just a one track mind. You know what I'm
but
saying? So it's like, how do we get there? What do we do? You know what
it
I'm
goes
saying? And,
that goes back to us. That goes back to men like you and
of
I
course.
having more of these
Hmm.
conversations, leading more of this charge. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like the last time we were on, I brought up Hill Harper's book, The Conversation. Just
Yeah.
talking about how important these conversations are, having these open discussions are. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
ties back to us leading the charge and making it happen.
Hmm. 200%, bro. Um, and just letting our young men know that their value is more than money and how many women that they can sleep with. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like there's
absolutely.
more to us than just that. We could be leaders. You know what I'm saying? There's so many just different things that we could be if we allow ourselves to be that, man.
Yeah.
So just transitioning from that to HCBUs. HBCU, excuse me. I'm like tongue tied here. Sorry. Um,
So good.
you went, yo, HBCUs. You went to one. Um,
Went to the
and
best one in the nation. Hold up.
oh, see now that right there. See that's see God telling you. You see, you may not have gone to the best one. See,
Good old Hampton University, baby.
I hear that, bro. And and looking back on it, I think that was one of my. I think as I got older, my regrets of not going to a HBCU. But nevertheless, I have a lot of friends that have gone to some historically black universities, and just all of the things that you don't get taught down through the years in elementary and high school, um, and in regular college, you get to experience, you know, at a HBCU.
Yeah.
And so, what are some of the benefits, that you experience from
Um,
going to HBCU?
the first thing that comes to mind is number one, learning more about our culture, learning more about
Mm-hmm.
myself as a black man, learning more about
Mm-hmm.
black women in general. Um, you
Mm-hmm.
know, growing up, I know, most of the time I dated Hispanic women because that's what I grew up around, right? And like,
Oh man.
myself and my mom, we were one of the only black families in our neighborhood. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I went to Hampton and I was looking around like, damn, hold on, what the hell are these women? God made
Mm-hmm.
black women like this. I was out there like, we, yeah, me going to Hampton as a black man showed me the value of the black woman and
Yeah.
and showed me that, yeah, the day you get married, it needs to be to a black woman. You
Mm.
need to, you need to pour back into the black community and build a black family so that others can see and learn so others can see and learn what you just did. The
Mm.
second thing was just social status. I had no idea that that black people were even allowed to have the sort of money that my friends in college had. Like one of my friends, I remember, we went to his aunt's house just so we could do some laundry for free. And his aunt was throwing shots
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, why didn't you call your dad? He's the family millionaire." And I'm like, "Hold up, your dad's a millionaire? We like,
Ooh.
I was like, hold up, Master said we could have that much money." You know what I mean? Because growing up in the hood, you start to think that that's all we're able to have, and that's all we were allowed to have.
Yes.
It wasn't
Yeah.
until going to a HBCU where black people as smart as they were, dressed the way that they dress, come from the sort of
Mm-hmm.
money that they come from. They sitting here driving mommy and daddy's Benz, and I'm sitting here like, man, I only see this on TV for white folks. I didn't know that we were allowed to have this. Going to a HBCU literally opened up my entire world.
Man, that's dope. See, I didn't even get that. I didn't get that education until my brother really moved to Atlanta. So
Yeah.
when my brother moved to Atlanta 10 years ago or 11 years ago, I started flying out there and I was like, what? I was like, what's going on out here? Like, it's
Yeah.
black everything out there. It was
Yeah.
Wakanda before Wakanda was even ever a thought. Like, it was, yo, for real. I was sitting here like, and like you said, like the women, I was just like, whoa, 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 wait a second, time out. People having their own businesses, so many black-owned businesses, right? Like, it
Yeah.
was amazing um, to see. And then also, and then also just speaking to a lot of my friends about the education that they received on Black History there.
Mm.
Um, it's so different from somebody who hasn't gone or who didn't go, that has to kind of do the work on their own and do the research and this and that. But the curriculum that is at the historically black colleges, man, is super amazing, bro. And it's
Yeah.
enlightening too, man.
Absolutely. And even the
Uh,
relationships that you start to build with your professors, like I'm still really
hmm
close with a number of professors that I went to school with. We're talking
Wow.
back and forth on Facebook. There are times they come to the city for vacation and we link up for dinner. Or, you know what I mean? Like the way that these professors at HBCUs pour into their students and teach
hmm
you just how, and they make you feel secure in your blackness as well. You know what I mean? Like
Wow. That's
you don't,
powerful.
it's okay for me to not understand something. It's okay for me to not be this proficient in it because they make you feel secure enough and give you that reassurance of I'm about to pour into you. I'm about to lift
Mm,
you up in ways that you never even thought possible.
wow. Man. Man, you made me want to go back, man. Man. All right.
Well, listen,
Um,
if you go back, Hampton got online classes too, bro.
well, come on, man. I'm like, well, I ain't going back right now. I'm just COVID stuff. I ain't going nowhere. I'll
I
tell you that
feel
right
you on
now.
that. I definitely feel you on that.
I mean, shoot, Harvard. I think it's Harvard or Princeton. One of them is just. I think they're only doing like online now, and they're keeping the tuition at 48,000 a year. I was like, whoa,
Forty-eight
jeez,
thousand for online classes. Oh no, they got the game messed up.
man. People are still gonna pay it, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't even matter.
yeah.
So when it comes to mental health,
Hmm.
what kind of advice, if there was a young brother or a younger you, um, or I'll say a younger brother in this generation, right now,
Hmm.
what type of advice would you give him on mental and emotional health? Because those two are two different things. They're under the same brother,
Uh,
but they are two different things.
yeah, absolutely. The first bit of advice that I would give is it's okay to feel. It's okay to
Mm-hmm.
not be okay. It's
Yep.
okay to open up and speak on certain things without being judged for it. I would give them the
Mm-hmm.
advice of making sure that they build bonds with brothers that they can be open with and know that they won't be judged for the way that they feel. You know what I mean? Like, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
I shared something. I felt emotional. I wanted to cry. And, I have someone like you in my life to where I can do that. And I know for a fact I won't be judged for it. Like, for instance, the fact that I even told you,
Definitely.
yeah, bro, I wanted to cry. And it was like nothing. It was like nothing was even said. It wasn't. There was no judgment or anything like that. The advice I
Nope.
would give is it's okay to feel. It's okay to be open. It's okay to be vulnerable, and build bonds with people that you can be open with. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Build that village around you. Make sure that you feel safe in your vulnerability. Make sure that you feel safe in your expression. You don't always have to. You don't always have to have it together. Most of us don't. But once you
Mm.
build your village up, we're gonna make sure that you're as good as possible.
Mm. Powerful. So listen, it's we got about 4 minutes left on the hour. Now, if people want us to continue this conversation, we can. You just gotta let us know in the comments if you want us to continue this conversation after the hour is up. Because if so, then we'll continue. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we can do this, and I got a whole load
Yeah.
of other subjects
Well, if they
that we
want
can get into.
if they want us to continue it, man, let's schedule another one. We could do it
Hmm.
tomorrow. We could do it later today. I promised my little sister I'd take out for some ice cream. So and and
And you
and
got to be a man
and
of your word.
and and, and,
Facts.
and that's one thing I definitely want her to understand.
Hmm.
Listen, I'm gonna sit here and make sure I keep my word to you. I don't give a damn how small the promise is, even if it's something as simple as ice cream. We're gonna
Hmm.
make sure that we gonna make sure that we go.
A,
But yeah, I
a
see.
couple people said. A couple people said we got to keep going.
Yeah, I see my bro in there. Yeah. They
um.
saying keep it up. So yeah, let's schedule another one. We could, you know, we could do it.
Okay.
We could do it tomorrow, same time. We could do it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Oh, tomorrow Tuesday. Yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah. No. Wait. What's tomorrow? Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah,
Man. Oh, tomorrow's Wednesday. Man.
it's
I'm
tomorrow
losing track
Wednesday.
of the days. Is
Damn,
it?
quarantine and messed all of us up. What?
Yo, facts. I'm thinking like, wait, tomorrow's Wednesday. So I say that we can do it. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
I see you,
I didn't
Smooth.
plan on doing. I didn't plan on doing another one tomorrow on a part two. Um, we can come up with we can come on and talk some more. And we can get on about some of these maybe some of the racial tensions and growing up as being black men in America. Maybe we could do something like that. We'll figure that out, bro. But tomorrow, we could do it at 6 o'clock here at the same time. You know what I'm saying? If that's what y'all want, you know what I'm
All right,
saying, and
so
we'll
let's
get back
do it.
on here and do it.
Let's do it.
Cool. I'm with it. So with that said, man, this is part one. My brother, I celebrate you. I honor you. Love you,
Celebrate you,
bro.
my brother. I love you as
Um,
well.
thank you for doing this. And we'll get back to it again tomorrow, 6 o'clock, same time here, man. And we'll do a part two style, bro. Thank you.
Same time, same network, man. Y'all better make sure y'all tune into my man T. Tell him stop playing.
Appreciate you, bro. Listen, so we'll catch up and do this again tomorrow. Go ahead and get that ice cream, bro.
Yeah, I don't even eat ice cream, but we about to make it happen regardless.
Hey, it's all right, man. It's quarantine. It's all good, bro.
But all right, love you, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. All right, cool. All right, so that settles it. Same time, same place tomorrow, 6 p.m. Me and Ron get back at it, man. Listen, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Peace.